What's up guys, it's Earthen Avenger, and today we're going to be talking about base coating. Now you might be asking, what is base coating? Base coating is laying down the foundational layer of paint on the model. So what we're going to be doing is taking those supplies that we got from last time. If you haven't seen that video, check the card up in the corner. We're going to be needing our water-based acrylic paints. Colors are based on what you're painting. Today I'm going to be working with a dark bright orange, a lighter color orange, and a jet black. Next, we're going to need that 6-hole well palette. This will give us nice deep cups for mixing and diluting the paints. And don't forget about our trusty mug, filled with fresh, clean water for rinsing off our brush in between colors and coats. For brushes, we don't want anything too thin, so a nice thicker tipped work brush will be perfect for applying that base coat. And don't forget some paper towels. And lastly, the undead miniature Skylander Ice Mall. Can you guess what we're painting yet? First, let's take our darker orange and give it a good shake. It's always important to shake your paints before using them. Now we'll pour some out into our well palette. Now we're going to water down this paint. It's very important that you water down your paint and never use it straight out of the paint pot. Now what this does is it loosens the chemicals in the paint and makes it so the paint will flow smoother and give you better control and better coverage with your brush. Always thin your paints. It's the biggest mistake I see people making when painting Skylanders. Remember, thin your paints. Now that our paint is a good consistency, I'm going to take it and test it out on some poster card. You want the consistency of melted ice cream. This will give you a lot of good control. I think we're ready to get started painting. Now just take a small dollop of paint on your brush and start applying to your Skylander. Nice and easy. It's all about control. Nice smooth strokes. And what we're doing here is we're just applying the first of many thin layers. It's important to do many thin layers when base coating as opposed to just a few thick layers. Now what this achieves is a nice smooth end result. You don't want to have a finished Skylander with, chunky paint where you could see the paint strokes in it. We want smooth, clean layers. Now, this will make it look like it was painted like that. You know what I mean? Like it came from the factory looking just like that. So it's all about clean, crisp, smooth base coats. It's okay if we get some on his armor. We're going to go back and touch that up. Just nice, easy strokes. Take your time. Enjoy the process. Painting is all about patience, practice, and perseverance. So don't worry if you make a few mistakes. You can always go back and clean them up. Just going to get in there. See? Nice, thin coat. As you can see, the eye is still translucent, but that'll disappear as we continue to go over it with more thin layers of paint. And with that, our first layer is done. Now, it is of the utmost importance that that first layer dries before we go in to do a second, or we will destroy the first layer. So, while that's drying, we're going to go ahead and thin down some black and start applying it to the metallic bits on the armor of our Ice Mall. Now, if you're familiar with the Skylander Giant Pumpkin variant eyebrow, you'll know that he has no metallic gold on his armor. So we're going to go ahead and replicate that with this mini and start filling in that metallic with our watered down black. Just being careful not to get any black on our already painted orange. Just being very careful. It's important when doing work like this to make sure you're watching your breathing. Don't catch yourself holding your breath. You want to just keep exhaling, inhale, exhale. It'll give you better control of your brush and help you relax while painting. And with that, we're just about finished with the armor on our eye small. Looking pretty clean. Nice midnight black armor on our pumpkin eye small. So now we're going to go back in and do a second layer of orange paint on the eye. By now, the first layer is completely dry, and we're going in with the second. Now, I will add a little bit more water to the paint in the well, as that dry time that we waited, it will have also dried the paint in the well. So you're going to want to add a little bit more water to that and just make sure it's that good melted ice cream consistency that we're looking for. As you can see, I'm just going slow, nice smooth strokes. And what we're doing here is just laying down a nice base coat, nice and smooth, covering up that eyeball. And you can kind of see him starting to come together and starting to look a lot more like a pumpkin eye small. And there's our second layer complete. Now, to help that second layer dry fast so we can get onto our third layer, I went ahead and took the model off camera and hit it with a hair dryer. Now, what you want to do is just put it on high heat, high blast, and stand about 10 inches away from the model, and then just for about a minute or so, just hit the model with your hair dryer until the paint is good and dry, and then you can move on to the next coat. That's going to be useful for dealing with multiple layers on the same model. Now, not all models are going to be like this. You have something like this. Eye small has a high contrast between the white of his eye and the black of the pupils. So it's kind of a rare case that you'd have to do something like that. But for this, it definitely comes in handy. Now, as you can see, the eye is starting to be less visible as we continue with these coats. Getting there, almost finished, and you can really starting to see him come together and look just like that variant model we all know and love. And layer 3 is complete. I'd say one more layer and that pupil should be completely gone, and we should be finished with our base coat. And with that, our base coat is completely finished. But there's still one more detail that we need to tackle. We're going to need to freehand on the eye and the smile of the pumpkin eye small. Now, freehanding can be quite a daunting process if you've never done it before. So what I would suggest is practicing this on some paper with your brush, because a brush is going to act very different from a pencil or marker. So just keep practicing your strokes until you get comfortable. Now, and also when you paint this on, you could always go in with our base color, which is that orange, and clean and tighten up the lines. There's not many models where you're going to need to freehand, so this is a very rare case, but I figured you guys would like to learn as well. And there you have it, our finished pumpkin eye small. With Halloween right around the corner, I felt this was a fitting model for our base coating video. Hopefully you feel the same way. And what a fantastic tribute to one of the most famous Skylander variants of all time, the pumpkin eyebrow. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Now also, I wanted to let you know that I'm going to be doing a community showcase. Now what this means is every video that I release, I'd like to show off some work from the community. I'd like to see what you guys are working on. So if you'd like to submit a photo of one of your painted Skylanders, you could find the information on how to submit it in the description below. So please go ahead and do that. I can't wait to see what you guys are working on. I'll catch you later, Boomerang Gang. Take care and peace.